Ronda, so arabesque is Ronda, so exquisite. Ronda falls down in a clustering flourish from the lintels of the house of the giant, in such a way that it was the envy of the Moorish king, Al-Mu'tamid of Seville. This monarch ordered that the schools of his victims be filled with gold to astonish his court, with a daunting scene of death enriched in the horror of the darkness. Ronda is the king and the plebeian, dispassionate, heartbreaking and dramatic, like the scourge. This is a popular saying in North Castile. In Ronda, they die carrying buckets of water. This saying became a curse as the slaves in the town were made to carry water from the river at the bottom of the gorge through a mine that was located inside of the Moorish palace at the top of the hill. From there, the water was carried to the highest part of the town where water supplies were scarce. And below the town, among water fountains and drops that dance again and again, installation miltons between the small and the big streams lie the best preserved Arbat in Spain. Ronda is an indelible memory of the mule that made infinite turns at the treadmill, spilling water into the past to satisfy the Muslims' hygienic purity. Ronda is filled with poems of the Quran, in places where no one can read them. Their litanies engraved on the arch of the mirror of the mosque of Rondame. There are stills of glory in the memory of his most talented children, Abba Ben Frinas Ulbeca, Arabic poet from Ronda, mentor of the medieval Castilian poet Jorge Manrique. He wrote the coplas on the death of his father.
Behold what miserable prize, what futile task we set upon whilst greed awakes us. And what a traitor world of lies is this, whose very gifts are gone ere death o'ertakes us. Some through increasing age deprived, some by unhappy turn of fate destroyed and banished, some, as with blight inherent rived, at topmost of their branching state, have failed and vanished. Yea, tell me, shall the lovely blazon, the gentle freshness and contour of smiling faces, the blush and pallor's sweet occasion, of all shall one a truce secure from time's grim traces? The flowing tress, the stature slender, the corporal litheness and the strength of gallant youth, all, to weariness surrender, as o'er them falls the shadow's length of age in truth.
Ronda was an accessible city, knocked down by Lombardy arms and invaded in the end by the Christian army, one Easter on Holy Spirit's Day of the year 1485. The army entered the city at the site of what is now the Elizabethan gate of the ancient convent of San Francisco. From here, they entered the Medina through the walls and the second gate of the Almocabar, from where we bump into the imposing mass of the fortress church of the Holy Spirit. Inside the temple, there is a portrait with a strange surprise. Saint Peter himself is sitting at the Last Supper wearing a monocle. There are plenty of peculiarities in the church of Ronda. For example, it has the only cathedral in Andalusia with a Castilian row of balcony, which make it the only temple in which the Renaissance style overcomes the light Gothic style. This serves to enhance in the space a feeling of withdrawal and prayer. In the cathedral, we find fantastic choir loft and haunting baroque altarpiece opposite to the Via Lucis, which commemorates the Billimenium of Christ's birth. Other churches and convents in Ronda include the Patronage, St. Isabel of the Angels, Charity, El Socorro, Father Jesus, and barefooted monks. In the primitive rocky church of the Virgin of the Head, Ronda displays an important role in preserving the culture and survival of the Catholic realm. Previously, this church was called the Caves of San Anton, where a group of hermits were the inhabitants and were known as the brothers of Gregorio Lopez. Ronda enjoys itself. Ronda adorns itself like no other town. It dresses up in spotless white when the snow appears during its hard and cold winters. When spring comes, Ronda is full of the unique combination of magnolias, lilies and geraniums poking through the cast iron grilles of its fences. As suggests the Spanish poet and essayist Eugenio d'Ors.
The small houses of Ronda's streets, with their rails on the first floor, seem to raise their bellies. Others have high fences inclining to the front. Walking between them, one has the feeling that both sides want to approach one another, as to communicate to each other a malicious secret about the passerby who wanders.
For walking about in Ronda is like daydreaming, like floating in the solid clouds of imaginary cotton. It is recreating the senses, as the poet and many-time visitor to Ronda, Rilke, the poet of Prague, wrote, "I have looked everywhere throughout the world for the dream city, and finally I have found it in Ronda." Living Ronda, feeling it and enjoying it is like taking part in a fairy tale. The bull ring in Ronda, circle of circles, a blossoming poppy among the green fields in a spring of dreams. Ring of nuptial, of allegiance and loyalty, with the world of bullfighting. The bull ring of Ronda, that of manly toreadors, to whom the famed flamenco singers, Federico and Fernando Villalón, would sing, taking words from the beautiful text of José Bergamín.
The art of bullfighting was a marvel because both Ronda and Seville alone made it. They put together two truths into only one with fighters like Ilo and Romero. Seville offers the air, Ronda the fire, and together bullfighting.
A bullfighting evening, a feast of blood and sand, of laughing and crying, of light and joyful holiday feeling. The best bullfighters come to Ronda, treading on the sand of their teachers and ancestors. Toreadors from Ronda stand on the eternal pedestal for the glory of their ancestors. Antonio Ordóñez Cayetano, the big Cayetano, the child of Palma, was the inspiration for all ill-fated boys, Federico García Lorca.
And when big Cayetano would cross the yellow straw-colored sand, in his apple green, silver, and silk-embroidered suit, standing out gracefully among the humble people, and the chestnut bulls that Spain raises in its land, it seemed that the evening was becoming browner.
And the gentleman, Don Pedro Romero, who seems to stop time with her bullfighting right hand, standing on the Gorge Avenue, looking out over